Hi, I'm Laura, and this is what I cook when I don't feel like cooking. We already messed up. I thought we're making curry, but I just realized I only have 1 tin of coconut milk, which is not gonna work because I need actually 2 for this one and 1 for this one, which doesn't add up with just 1 coconut milk. Well, this is a real life moment of when you think you can just whip up something and then you don't have the ingredients. What we're gonna do instead, we're just gonna improvise and make more of a brothy coconut curry type of situation. Curry is really one of the easiest things you can cook because you just throw everything into a pot and then you cook some rice and you're done. I usually like to make it in 2 different pots so I can make a spicy one for me and my husband and a non-spicy one for the toddler. So let's get going. We're just gonna do what we can. Right, I'm gonna take this pot for the toddler, this pot for us, and this is gonna be for our rice. Easy peasy. I already skipped 1 step ahead. I already cut up the veggies. I didn't even intend to film this, but then I was like, oh, this is way too easy. I should film this. So what I have here is 1 broccoli, 2 carrots, 1 bell pepper, and 1.5 zucchinis. I just spread it across 2 containers. So this is gonna be the toddler curry. This is gonna be the adult curry. We're gonna do the toddler curry with some turmeric, cinnamon, and basil. We're gonna use this curry paste for the adult curry. This is nice and spicy. I got this from the Asian grocery store, and this is one of the cleanest curry pastes you can get. It doesn't have any MSG, it doesn't have preservatives, it has no like seed oils or anything. It's really just spices, which is really nice. This one also doesn't have shrimp paste. So get this yellow curry paste in your Asian grocery store. And if you buy curry paste, always look at the ingredients because at Woolworth or Coles or any supermarket, usually they have like, I don't know, preservatives, seed oils. They have just a bunch of random stuff that doesn't need to be in there. So we're gonna do all the veggies and then you need 1 protein source. This can be chicken, beef, or tofu. This is chicken strips, so I'm just gonna use this. We're gonna fry this up and then we're gonna have our nice warming curry. Let's put some coconut oil into our pots. It's actually quite funny because nothing that I just did went according to plan. I burnt the curry. The chicken wasn't what I expected it would be because it's very long strips for stir fry. And it was also burning to the pot. But I'm not a chef. I'm just a mom trying to cook a nutritious meal for my family, and I'm sure it will still taste quite good. So usually I would add more coconut milk. I wouldn't add the water. I would cook it just in coconut milk, because that's just how it gets very thick and creamy, and we really love that. But it's kind of ironic. I wanted to mention that sometimes I feel like curry is a bit too heavy for me for dinner, and I like to thin it with a cup of bone broth just for my plate. Yeah, I wouldn't cook it like it. I would cook it with coconut milk only because my husband likes it thicker, and then I would just add a cup of bone broth to my bowl, so it's a bit more thinner and just a bit lighter. And I also forgot to mention that this will last for 2 days, which is amazing because then you only have to cook once. This is another hack if you cook something, just make a big batch and you only have to cook once. Especially with chili or curry, it's such a nice meal to also eat reheated, because some meals, if we're honest, they just don't taste good when we reheat them. But curry or chili are just very good to reheat. And I'm also gonna prep the rice for 2 days. I like to make 2 cups for 2 days. So this is gonna be 2 cups of rice with 3 cups of water. That's it. And no, I did not wash my rice. I'm very lazy. I think I'm not gonna die, so it's fine. And I like to add bone broth to our rice as well. Just add some more nutrients, some more protein. So for the 2 cups, I just did a heaping tablespoon. Just a really good hack to up the nutritional value of your food. I always cook rice or quinoa or thing in bone broth. And especially with the concentrate, you cannot really taste it, which I like. I also put this in my hot chocolate and you cannot taste it. So I'm having bone broth every day, but not because I like bone broth. I just put it in my hot chocolate. This is gonna go on here now. And how I like to cook my rice, I like to keep the lid on. And once I turn the stove on, I do a 10-minute timer and I just leave it, and then it absorbs everything. And I always cook the perfect rice. My husband is always amazed because he says that's one of my skills, that I can cook perfect rice. So I'm sure there might be other ways, but this is how I cook my rice. Lid goes on and just gonna put it on high for a little bit. And then when I see that it's boiling up, I will turn it down and just leave it with the lid closed for 10 minutes. And we're pretty much done. This is it. So cutting up the veggies, having a source of protein, putting everything into the pot, frying it in the coconut oil first, putting the broth or the coconut milk on top, and that's it. Putting some rice on. You could also have this with some rice noodles, would also be very nice. I feel like that's as easy as it gets. And this lasts for 2 days. And I have a husband who eats a lot, so win-win. Tomorrow I don't have to cook because I cooked curry today. If you like these types of videos, make sure to hit the like button so I know that you like them and make more of them. And hit the subscribe button to not miss the next what I cook when I don't feel like cooking video. Bye!